How is the show going for you so far?
This convention?
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's huge, and it's my first international convention. And I love it. It's been so fun. I can't wait for your tomorrow, and I'm gonna be here all weekend. But I heard tomorrow's gonna be crazy.
And having done many shows, it's very different going abroad and doing a different show in a different country. But have you done many back home?
No. So this is probably my 4th or 5th one. My first one was the New York Comic Con.
Okay.
Last year. But then I did some small shows, and then but this is my first international one. And I have the Comic Con bug. I just want to go like every month. I'm so excited though.
You're going to do well in this game, then. You're going to be fine.
I hope so.
So we're going to talk all about your career. Give us a little sense of who you are and what you do. If people don't know, what is it that you do specifically?
So I'm a martial artist. I specialize in Taekwondo and sport karate. So I own a karate school, or co-own a karate school in Georgia, in America. And basically I train, compete, and teach out of that karate school, and then I compete all around the world. And then what got me into stunts is that I started, I was teaching at a karate school in LA called XMA Headquarters, and they needed somebody that was my size, and then they had my skill set, and this is for young Electra from Netflix's Daredevil. That was my first show. So they flew me out to New York, and then I got to meet all these stunt performers, and then I got to just film young Electra stunts. And then from there, I jumped to Logan, where I got to do X-23. The director loved me so much as I was working on it, so then he wrote me into as a character for Pinecone Girl. I got to also jump in as a stunt double for some other mutant kids. And then just from there, my career kind of like took off. So martial arts has been a big part of my career as a stunt performer. And it's also martial arts is my passion. I love teaching, I love training. I recently picked up Gojiro Karate, so I'm learning different styles. It's been so fun.
So you were 5 when you started, so you started pretty young.
Yes, yeah, I was 5 when I started, and I'm 28. Yeah, turning 29 this year.
Wow. So you're not really tall. That must be useful because you're doubling for younger actors. Has that been an advantage to you? I'm assuming it must be.
Yes, so before I got into this industry, I always wished that I was a little bit taller because I'm 4'11", 4'11 and 3/4.
That counts.
Yeah, that's American. But like, I used to wish that I was like 5'2" or like a normal average height. But then, like getting into the industry, all of the kids that I'm doubling, they're around my height. And then for X-23 for Daphne, she was shorter. So my entire time, I was like this, like hunched over, trying to do all the stunts. So my knees were, thank goodness for young knees, but I was like hunched down. And no, nowadays I love that I'm 4'11". Sometimes I wish that I was a little bit shorter so I could double even more kids. But no, it's been fun. I'm glad that I'm small.
It's interesting, I think, that stunts, I still understand the movement for having an Oscar for stunt performers because you're not just doing the physical stunt stuff, you've literally just explained how you were getting into the character of X-23, you get the hunch and all of that movement, so you're literally performing, you're not just doing stunts. I hope I'm not selling what you do short, but you're doing the character as much as you're doing the stunts, aren't you?
Yeah, so sometimes especially when you're creating a character like that, you want to be able to work with the actor or the actress to see what they want as to portray their character. But then on the action side, you want to make sure that the action portrays not only what the character embodies, but also what the director, the stunt coordinator, everything wants. So we like to say that there's like two parts of the character. There's like this acting, speaking part, and then what we call stacting, which is stunt acting. So you kind of have to act out what that character is. Like for X-23, you have to get really feral and like deep down and quick and agile. For young Ahsoka, she's quirky, but she's also, can I say bad words? A badass. Sorry. She's a very cool character, but also fun. So yeah, you have to kind of get into the character, and then you can't just be like, this is a punch. No, because the character might do, instead of a punch, it's gonna be a slash. Or instead of, with me being a martial artist, I'm used to very traditional sword cuts. But then the stunt coordinator, and then for young Ahsoka, she needed to be a little bit faster. She needed to. I can't like let that sword touch me because it'll burn. So you just kind of have to get into the character too.
I love that phrase, stacking. I need to remember that. That's clever.
Yeah.
So what you did is very collaborative with all departments, really, to make sure you fit what the actor is doing. Everything has to marry up as near as you can possibly like it.
Yeah, and in the stunt department, we're probably the most destructive of the sets because we have to drill holes to be able to make room for wires to do wire work. We have to slam into stuff and destroy sets. We have to destroy the costumes and the makeup. So I'm very glad that most stunt performers and the stunt department that I've met, we all try to, what you said, be collaborative with all the different departments. So like I even talk to my costumers when I'm doing my fitting, and I'm like, can I get shoes that I can actually jump and spin in? And I've heard that some stunt performers, they if their character has like heels, they ask for like flats so that they can do stunts. So yeah, it's good that we're all collaborative. It takes a village to make a beautiful movie. So
that's a good way of putting it. It's a really good way of putting it. You double for Ariana Greenblatt in Ahsoka. How did the process work? How did you come to that role? I mean, obviously you're on the right people's radar for the work you've done before, but how did that all come to be?
So this is actually my second time doubling Ariana. I doubled her in a small Netflix show called 65. But the way that I got this one, I was actually at a martial arts tournament, and in between my divisions, I got a call from she's like an icon for me, Natalie Padilla. She's a beautiful stunt performer. And she was like, hey, are you available to come fly out right now so we can do a director's comparison? I'm like, well, I'm competing, but I can fly out tonight. And like, I flew out after that tonight and then to LA, and then I did the director's comparison. They loved me. I got to see that it was Ariana, and because we worked together, we instantly meshed. And then I got to see who my stunt coordinator was, and it's Ming Q. Oh my god, she's amazing. She's doubled so many different people. She's kind of like the it girl, or it woman, sorry, for all things stunt performers. And she's also a sport karate legend. So being able to work under her, and just like going from a martial arts tournament and then flying out to do Young Ahsoka to literally live the Clone Wars, man, that was a dream come true. I don't know, that's probably like, it's a bucket list moment. I don't know if anything can top that, unless, I'm a big Harry Potter fan, unless I can jump on the new Harry Potter series. So whoever's watching, who do I need to talk to? But yeah.
That's fantastic. I should have asked earlier, are you a Star Wars fan? So when Ahsoka comes along, does it mean just that little bit more?
So I am a Star Wars fan. Probably not as big as like all the people here, but I am a Star Wars fan. I'm a big fan of the prequels. So I actually love Revenge of the Sith and Attack on Clones. I know that people are like, but I love it. Hayden Christensen is awesome. Yeah. And then being able to fight him, that was so cool. Can I say like a little story about that?
Of course you can.
Okay. So you know that scene, sorry, if you have not seen Ahsoka, spoiler alert, young Ahsoka gets to fight Hayden Christensen, or Anakin Skywalker, but that's when he was like slowly turning into Darth Vader. So there was a scene where he just turns around, or Hayden Christensen just like turns around, and I've never seen him in his makeup or his anything, but he turned around, there was atmosphere smoke, there was like lighting, and then he had the Sith eyes. And then he was like super into that character, and he was like looking at me, live or die. And I'm like, oh my god, I want to live. But he was like into his character, and then when he came at me, Hayden Christensen does not fight soft. He is so powerful, so strong. He was like really trying to kill me. Not really because he's a nice guy, but like he was like, ah! And I'm like, ah! Yeah, stacking, guys.
Stacking. So in that moment, you're more than capable of doing everything that needs to be done, and he's going for it. Is that a thing that, as performers, you say, you just bring it, Hayden? You know, you want that. I'm assuming you want that.
Yeah, and then most actors, especially with me working with male actors and me being a small female, they're trying to be very cautious and considerate and respectful of everything, but sometimes I need to get hit. I actually need to feel the character a little bit. So like when he kicked me, and then it was the World Between Worlds, and he kicked young Ahsoka, and then it turns into the adult Ahsoka. I had to put a little chest thing on just so that he would make contact, because he was so nice. He was like, just a little, meh. And I'm like, come on, Hayden. Oh, and he's so competitive.
Okay.
The first flashback sequence when we were like running and we were dodging everything, when Ariana did it, they filmed it in a way where they looked like they were together. When I jumped in, it was in a different angle, and the director was like, "We need young Ahsoka to run faster." So my stunt coordinator was like tail him, make him run. So I told Hayden, I'm gonna try to pass you. I'm gonna try to like race you to the other side. And he was like, "Bring it, Snips." And he called me Snips. Can you believe that? Like Clone Wars, he called me Snips, and I was like, "All right, Sky Guy," and it was like, "Ah!" It was fun. So I guess I am a little bit of a Star Wars nerd.
I love the energy. So when you're on a set like that, and obviously Star Wars Productions, it's a big deal, and all the top brass are around, everything's there. What's the difference between a set like that? Of course, the volume is involved. And had you worked with the volume before? Was that the first time?
So the one that I filmed in, we were not in the volume. We were in a live set with the actual sand, and we just had like the blue screens, but I didn't get to film in volume.
How different is it working on a Star Wars production in terms of just scope and everything that's laid out in front of you to a lot of other productions? Is it difficult for your part? Is it, I just happen to be in another galaxy and this is what I do?
I don't really know how to answer that question. It's just like any other studio set. So normally when you get to film in a studio, they take over a building like this, and then they just kind of like put in all the sets that they need for the show. And then there's all the lighting, and then there's like the director's village, producer's village. So it's like filming in a studio is not that difficult, and it's cool. It's definitely better than working outside where there's no AC and bugs, and I don't like bugs.
And when the episode came out, what was your friends and family's reaction to that? Especially that episode, because that's a key episode in Ahsoka. So you were plum moment. So what was the reaction?
So my mom is my biggest fan, and I love her. She tried to do like a full like little watch show party, and we weren't able to do that because I was working at the same time that it aired in her time. But I didn't tell any of my friends because you're not supposed to tell anything. But I told them that I was working on Ahsoka, but I didn't tell them what I was doing. So they were all like, "I can't wait to see you in Ahsoka, episode 1. I'm not in episode 1. Episode 2. I'm not in episode 2. And then they finally saw the episode that I was in, and they were like, "Oh my God, that's you!" And they were all already taking pictures of it, posting it on social media, and then like, "That's my niece, that's my nephew, that's my cousin." My mom put a full video like, "That's my daughter!" My dad was like, "That's my girl too!" And then like I've usually doubled the young people, and he's usually like the daughter of some like, so for X-23 I was the daughter of Logan. So my dad was like, "Well, thanks for letting me be the second best dad ever," because like Logan was supposed to be my dad. Oh, I love them. But And then my boyfriend is a huge Star Wars fan.
Right.
Normally, I keep him updated with like what I'm filming, and he was like, "Don't tell me anything." And I was like, "All right, cool." And he was trying, but then he was also trying to say like, "Is this character gonna show up? Are you doing this?" And I'm like, "I'm not telling you anything." So it was fun.
It's a great way to hook in new viewers.
Yeah.
So, as that experience, you've come away from that experience now and moved on to other projects. How do you take forward what you learn from each individual project? Because you're a martial artist, so you're competitive, so that word again, competitive, so you're constantly doing that, and that's a learning curve. And then as a performer, presumably, you mentioned being Korean, you're learning from her, you're learning from different people. How do you take that forward each time? How does that benefit you when you move on to another project?
Well, every set is different, every project is different, and I learn something different every single time. So it's not like I learn something new, I just build upon whatever I learn.
And that's worked out pretty well so far, hasn't it?
I'm still here, I'm not been blacklisted by any companies. I get to come to all these conventions and meet all these beautiful people, so I think I'm doing okay.
You're definitely doing okay, and that's one of the nice spin-off benefits from being in Star Wars or any big franchises, that you can come to an event like this. You'll have Marvel fans coming to you because of X-23 and Star Wars fans because of Ahsoka. You don't go into a career thinking that's kind of, you don't anticipate that's going to be a big part of it, but does it kind of feel like it's become a bigger part of your whole? Because, as I say, you're still performing as martial arts, you're now working in film. This is another thing again, it's another string to your bow.
Yeah, that's something that I love about, just like to the root of it, martial arts has been the stepping stone to all these beautiful opportunities, to going to stunts, going to competitions, going to Comic-Cons, just meeting people, training. Martial arts has been my base, so I highly recommend anybody to do martial arts. It doesn't have to be competitive martial arts. It doesn't have to be the high-flying, kicking martial arts. I just think that martial arts is a beautiful community, and it leads to so many cool things. So, martial arts, yay!
You must be so glad you got into that when you were a kid. Look at where it's led.
Yeah, I'm so grateful. My dad was in the military, and he was in Korea, and he saw people doing martial arts, and when he got back stateside, he was like, enroll my kids in martial arts for the discipline, for the talent and everything, or the skill level that I'm going to get. And yeah, with all the military moves, martial arts has always been that community that I can always rely upon.
I did an interview with a lady earlier who's an artist, and I asked her, where would you like your career to lead? Where would you like this thing to go? You've already got a lot of things you do now, but where would you like to take your career forward? How would you like to see it progress?
Honestly, if I can just change people's lives through martial arts, that's all I want. I just want, if it's martial arts, just like from teaching, if it's by using that martial arts in my stunt world, I'm meeting at a Comic-Con, as long as I change as many people as I can, like if I can just make somebody smile every day, and then with martial arts, that's the dream. There's no hidden agenda. I just want to do martial arts, make people happy, and also be happy myself. So.
That's a good goal. That's a great goal. I did notice you brought your blades.
I do. These are my beautiful Asian man friend. He got me these Ahsoka collection sabers. Can they turn on? Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually blue, and then it makes the cool sounds and then like all of the fun stuff, but yeah, Ahsoka.
And my face is still on, so that's a bonus.
Oh, I'm
Look at
so sorry, I didn't realize that I was so close to you.
Oh, that's fantastic. Anything else you would like to tell us about? You're upstairs for the weekend, of course, signing.
Yes, yeah, so if you just want to come and chat with me, you don't have to buy anything, but you can just chat with me. But I'm upstairs with all the other autograph people. Like from right here, I'm literally just right there. So come say hi, and then have a great weekend. I can't wait to meet you all this weekend or at future conventions.
Of course you can. You are.
And then thank you, Fantha Tracks, for hosting me. It's been fun. Yeah.
Wonderful. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
We'll see you soon. Thank you. Big round of applause for Rissa.